Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Let me get adjusted here. There we go. I'm back. How's the sound? Hopefully, everything got picked up on that. Quite the tornado event we've had here, and just some footage from what what happened over the last few days here. And you can see that we've had some quite a bit of destruction in Kansas and Nebraska and all around the country. So let's just pause there and hop into our solar report. All right, so here we are, May 14th. May 14th, 2023, and you can see our loop playing here. Let me pull it up, tint it up a little bit for you. There we go. And you can see, except for this little object right here, a pretty quiet day on the sun. Finally, a quiet day. It was Sunday, and I finally got a day of rest. I don't know how long it's been since I've had a day of rest, but I got partial rest at least. Let's just say that. I have a break in the battle right now, so I'll take every little bit I can get. Anyways, you can see that pretty quiet day on the sun. We had a couple objects. There are little faint ones out in front of this too, but then there's the main one. Okay, and we're not going to go frame by frame through this. There's not much to look at, but there's other stuff to report on tonight. And since I'm last to report on everything, but first for tomorrow, I guess, however you look at it, you can see after our activity, our sun dipped below the seafloor again here. May I please have this, Jesus? Come on, let me zoom in on this. There we go. Yeah, I just want you to see right here, this little green line. During today, we had this pop right here. That was our little event that you saw. But then it went below the seafloor for a while, and now it's climbing back out. We've had some activity since, in now the 15th. So you can see that just it's tapering off, and then we had another little hump right here. So the sun's creeping along, but if it wasn't for these objects interacting with it, it would be below the seafloor. Now, our absorption layer, not too bad today. They're in daytime right now, so it's not too bad. X flare is 1%, so we'll even slow. See our protons 1%, 15% M flare, so nice and quiet kind of on the sun. You can see over here at our KP index, it went, we had that spike yesterday that was yellow, or whatever, should have been, or no, should have been back here. Anyways, it's calming down. Okay, the aurora's pretty mellow today. Let me just zoom out real quick here. Yeah, some very important news happened today, and we'll get to that for the gem. That's why I'm just kind of pushing through this real quick. Get the solar stuff out of the way for the solar fans, and then they can dip out, and we can go into the spiritual realm. So you can still see right here is the top of the compass, right where my little pointer is, and this CME is offset. Okay, it should be going around the middle of the compass here, instead of this being on the very edge of it. So something is pushing it or pulling it, whichever you want to say. And this one's offset as well. Okay, but they're not glowing so bad right now. We're not absorbing a bunch of energy right at the moment, so that's good. Just see if there's anything on the tracker. Yeah, there's our little CME right here going off to the side. Let me zoom in on this while it's loading up. There we go. Now you can see it, big old wave. So our CME, that's the one I believe from yesterday. So yeah, that's kind of looking like the one from yesterday, because there wasn't much coming off the sun today. So, whoops, let's pull back out of that a little bit. Can we? There we go. Okay, so we did the auroras, we did KP, we opened up the tracker. Everything's kind of calming down on this instrument over here as well. Let's see if we can pull this over a little bit. See, our current conditions right now, everything's kind of calm, so that's good. That's good. Finally, one calm day on the sun. I mean, it used to be all calm days, and every once in a while we'd have activity. Now it's all activity, and every once in a while we have a calm day. Things have gone from one end of the spectrum to the other. Excuse me. Trying to drink something that's sour and makes your lips pucker while you're trying to talk. Okay, there's Noah's little thing right here. They're showing the blast. They're showing, I don't know, 511. Yeah, that's hella old. I don't even know what that's doing up there. Sometimes it's important to look at the date before we start examining data. Okay, so I think we're done with this instrument. Let's come on over to the Schumann. And you can see that we've had a few of these screeching events, boom, 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 here today, but it comes out of them glowing really strong. Here it got dim, but then we had a screeching event, came out of it dim, but then went right back to vibrant again, even though we had these pulses here, these big, not big, but these intense screeching events, we'll say. The core and the shell grinding on each other, bouncing off the ionosphere, echoing back down. This instrument picks up echoes. So if it picks up echoes, what it's picking up is the hum of the earth and the echoes of the grinding bouncing off the ionosphere. And every time we have the skyquakes, this thing goes berserk. I mean, I showed you the pole changing direction on January 11th. Okay? But we're still going forward in reverse and pumping right along, so that's good news too. Now, I want to come over here to this, to null school, because, let me pull back out of this, whoops, I don't need that. Let me just give you a reference of where we're at on the globe here, okay? We're right in the middle of the Indian Ocean. This is where we would expect to see the pole migrate to, is right around this region, and we had that huge typhoon in this region that I reported on. There's possible activity. Well, just south of that, we have this huge Category 5 typhoon right here. And let's let the winds kick in. And yeah, it's got quite some structure, very, very strong vortex, probably influenced by a passing object. There was another big object that passed a couple days ago. We'll go back and check, but I'll show you 3 days ago from today, and I bet you will see the bigger object. And I believe that this vortice is, it's on the southern hemisphere. Let me pull back. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, here's the equator right here. Let me just kind of zoom in for you. Okay, here's the equator right here. So this is just south of the equator. So it's rotating clockwise, typhoon, right in the middle, right here, okay? Then we come over here, check out our weather. Whoops, that's trippy. Okay, so it's coming down, dropping down like this, and then going way up here into British Columbia and over America. So you see this upper jet right here, kind of diverting a lot of stuff over America. Almost looks like there's a big old hedge of protection over America right now. And that could be thanks to a couple of you. And I hear your prayers, and you're being answered. You're seeing answered prayer right there. Okay? Believe it when you see it, okay? Because that's what it is. Our weather has been so extreme and so violent for a while now that we deserve a little break here. And look at that. Nice little ridge of protection over America. I don't feel like doing the SO2 tonight. I want to move forward. We have some earthquake activity we need to report on. So let's get her done, huh? Let's start at our deep spot. Whoops, down here, where all our deep quakes emanate from. And let's get the tent just a tad bit better for you guys. I need to back off a little bit from the intro that we did. Okay. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Now, here we go. Our deep quake right here for today is a 4.5 at a depth of 565. Okay, hopefully that's fitting in the screen. Okay, so we have a 4.5, depth of 565. At the surface, that translates to 5.2, 5 plus energy, let's just say, okay? So, remember, it's at depth. So, at the surface, it translates a little bit bigger. Sometimes a full magnitude, maybe 8/10 of one, just depending on how deep and how big the quake is, too. Both of those are factors in determining what the surface pressure would be. Okay, and it's not an exact science. We're getting pretty darn good at it, but it's not exact. But you guys understand how it works. Comes in, emanates here, travels up through the system, and dumps off quakes along the way. So let's come in here. We had a deep 5 here yesterday. So anything that emanates in this area could be from that deep quake. I was looking for this area and this area to fill in. There should be a quake in this area, and there's not. Okay, so this area seems to be locked up a little bit because we had a quake due in there and still hasn't really struck. I haven't seen anything as far as what I'm looking for. And now we have another deep quake here backing it up. So there was 5.0 energy, mid 5 energy that came out of there. And now we've got 5 to 5.2 energy coming out of there right behind it. So this quake here is a 4.7 at a depth of 153. Okay, this is semi-deep quake. I believe this is a residual quake from the bigger 5 that was deep here. This one right above this, please come to me, is a 5.1. That also could be the 5 to mid 5 energy we were expecting in this area from the deep quake down below here. So I believe maybe these 3 quakes right here are a result of that energy. 4.9 at a depth of 11. Okay. Now as we come up to here, this is a 5.1 as well. So we have that energy that was due in this area between the 2 deep quakes here and here. It never transpired, so now it has started to push northward, and we are seeing it dump our 5 to mid 5 energy along the way. This is a 4.9. Count that as a 5. We know how they downgrade this stuff, so they downgrade every one of them. So we're just sticking with the numbers they're using, and we're just going to town, aren't we, folks? Yes, we are. And we get up to here, and we got 4.4 at a depth of 131. Okay, what at a depth of 131? What's that going to translate to at the surface? Almost a 5. Okay, high 4, almost a 5. Okay, what's going on right here? We got a 4.2 at a depth of 400. This is a deep quake. This is not that energy being scrubbed off along the plate. This is a deep quake that popped up, that shook something loose down below. As this energy travels up, sometimes it shakes shit loose that's down below, and it'll pop down below and push more pressure up along with the pressure that's coming up. It'll push something deeper and add to it and thrust it further up the system. Excuse me. And I believe that's what we're seeing right here. This is a 5.1, and then there's a bunch right here, okay? Hey. See, you thought it was one quake. Look at this, you guys. So let's start just plowing through this. 5.1 at a depth of 10. 5.6 at a depth of 13. 5.2 at a depth of 10. 5.0 at a depth of 10, 4.9 at a depth of 10, 4.8 at a depth of 15, and 4.5 at a depth of 10. Our 5 to mid 5 energy that we were looking for, that was coming up through here, I said got added, some of this energy added to it. Boom, and it struck right next door with a quake swarm. These are like they're almost aftershocks from this pressure coming up, but this is now triggered a release of energy in this weak spot around here. Um, we have a volcanic island right here, too. This is not looking good, folks. This thing could be getting ready to do something. And look at the population right in the middle of the island with an airstrip, all houses, beachfront. So as we pull back, look at this volcano. It's just right there. Now, pull back a little bit further. You can see, whoopsie, I want to be right there. Okay, hopefully you can see this little colored barrier around. This is the slope going down the mountain down to the seafloor, okay? So the base of this volcano reaches down to the seafloor. See how it connects right here, and there's a secondary volcano growing right here. So we pull back. That structure with this volcano are pointing at our quake swarm area. Now, I don't see any seamounts around here, so there's a volcano up here as well, a couple of them. That one doesn't look too structured, but it is still volcanic. This one has a nice little vent at the top of it. Oh yeah, look at that. So we have, stay right there. We have this volcano and this volcano with this quake swarm right in the middle. There's even this one too, okay? That one didn't look too developed, but this one and this one are like two big old pimples, right? Ready to pop. We got all this pressure and earthquake swarm going on in between these two, just offset from it. This is kind of in between the fulcrum point here, the one that's kind of pushing this way. See this little arrow kind of pushing that way? So there's a fulcrum point right here with volcanoes right around it and this quake swarm right in the middle of it. All of this is right offshore of who? Japan. This, oh boy, this quake swarm and this bay right here, this is all city. This is Tokyo, I believe. If not, it is a very major city that is just inches away from this, okay? I mean, that is just right offshore from these guys. If there a big one popped right there, the tsunami would hit them with no warning at all. It would probably hit while the quake is still shaking the ground. So we got to watch this area closely. See this? This is a fulcrum point as well. You see this pointing upward, pointing this way, okay? We also have pointing inward right here, another one pointing inward down. Oh, shit. Look at this. Is that Mount Fuji or something? No. Getting ready. We're winding up because look how close. It's right there at that fulcrum point. There's two fulcrum points, three, where they all three come together. There's this big fat pimple right there. Look, it even looks like a pimple. See that? There we go. So, and then we have nothing but population all around here, all along this coastline. This whole area is all population. All this, this whole area is all one big city. Okay, with the bays, ports, all kinds of commerce hub and everything in here. Okay, so this is not good. This is a warning for this area. Now, this is a double-edged sword, too. We are scrubbing off energy as well, but if this is where we're going to scrub it off, this is not a good spot, okay? So we're going to kind of leave that hanging right here. It seems to be energy from this combined with inbound energy has now found a weak spot and is now taking it out right off the coast of Japan. Energy is still moving north along this because that's not just relieving all of it. Trust me, energy is coming up from down below. And here we have a 4.9 at a depth of 143. Okay, so that's a quarter deep. That's not a surface quake. That's more pressure from below. See, look at this, man. This stuff right here is rattling stuff loose down below, I believe. All this is coming loose, all right? It's that pent-up energy that didn't get released properly down here. Now it's pinched and it's pinching off at this point and really starting to found a weak spot here, it looks like, because the energy flowing after it is smaller and deeper. So that 4.9 at a depth of 143, that's going to translate at the surface to a 5.2, a little bit over 5. It doesn't seem like much is past the cinch off point. This is like the garden hose being cinched off. The energy comes in here at 5, releases here, but then when it comes down the rest of the system, it was at 3 range. And that's been this trend lately. Comes around the hump and dumps it off here. Usually dumps it off here in the Juan de Fuca or right off this point right here. We have this 2-way, 3-way intersection. But it's not. It's actually pushing inland now and relieving here at this site above Lassen where we had our quake swarm at this lake. And let's go take a peek at today's activity at the lake. And it's quieting down. We've had 4 quakes as opposed to 40. So that's calming down. But let's go through them. 2.7, negative 0.9. And that's just right under the water is all it is, really. When the negative number, don't think it's floating in midair, okay? It's not. 2.6 at a negative 0.2. 2.8 at a negative 1.6. And a 2.7 at a negative 1.5. So 2 to mid-2 range. Only 4 of them. It looks to be calming down. They're more widespread, and they're all kind of even amounts, okay? So that's good. It seems to be dying off there and quieting off there. Okay, we need to come down here. Please, fill in. There we go. Right here on the San Andreas is a 2.9 at the pinnacles at a depth of 5.5. That's a surface quake right there. On the San Andreas, it's not much, so that's good. It's causing, we get 3.6 down here at a depth of 1, 3.4 at 21, 4.3 at 3.2, and a 4.5 depth of 10. All right, so just little quakes going on down here. This is energy that's being scrubbed off, just this tectonic plate line. So let's just keep pulling up and zooming out. Gold Coast plate's quiet. Just some mouse farts over here. 4.6. Well, that's not a mouse fart. That's a 4.6 at a depth of 150, actually. That's your 5 energy being scrubbed there. 4.2 at a depth of 54. That's your 4 to mid-range 4 at this. Here, pull this over. At this fulcrum point right here is your mid-range 4 energy being scrubbed off. We also have it scrubbing off here with little mid-range 3s, 3.1s, yeah. So that's it. We got some other activity here in Texas. We'll go cover this because it's America. That's a 3.1 at a depth of 7.7 in Colorado. That one's a little concerning. 2.6 depth of 5. 2.8 at a depth of 5, and 2.7 at a depth of 8.5. Okay, come back to this one now. This is the 3.1 out of western Colorado. I want to go in on this. Whoops. Right here. What's this topographical surface features look like here? Well, I don't see much. It would be this thing right here. while the dome or oh, I'm trying to think of the term right now. Anyways, this little hump is pressurized. It's been pushed up from below. And it seems like there's other little round features like this in the area. There's a small one right here. See this round feature right here? And that's right in the middle of it. So something pushing up underneath this dome popped off a little 3.1 here at a depth of 7.7. So that's a surface quake. There's something under this dome feature right here, okay, that's pushing up in the middle. So pressure from down below is pushing up through Texas, and I don't see a bunch of well sites, anything around here. Yeah, well, there are some pads, I guess. But this one, it's not a big, like, drilling operation. I don't think that's from perforations in the crust. This is kind of deeper into the foothills of Colorado here. So whatever this little dome feature is, you can actually see it spreads out a little further. Right there is our round. You see this curvature right here? And then it kind of stops, but it does travel out into this plane and circle back around. So right in the middle of that feature is this 2.8. So that's pressure from down below. Okay, and that's in Colorado. So, or no, sorry, Texas. So let's pull back even a little bit further. That's this one. I want to see this one right here. This is the 3.1 in Weston. I was on the wrong thing. Oh, we're by this fracture zone again right here. All right. You see this mountain range pushed up and this little gorge right down below in the valley? This is a fracture zone right here, and you can see it runs down through here, digs this lake out, runs all the way down through here, right at the foothills of these mountains, right on the backside and the foothills right through here. So up on this little fault, that we've had a quake here in this area before, it dumped off this 3.1. And I don't see any other surface features. Yeah, it's definitely from this fault line right here. And it dishes right off in the weak area right here on the side, foothill or whatever. So that's what's going on in Colorado. This other one in Texas is this circular feature. You can see it from space, dude. That's weird. Right there, it looks like a perfect circle. Let me zoom in a little bit better for you guys. There. It just... Right there is just this cookie cutter rim. Anyway, and that was down in Texas. So there's your earthquakes for today. Oh, just real quick here. We got... it's making its way to the North Atlantic Ridge. That's good. And it's dropping off to 4.9. So it's made its complete circuit. It dumped off of 4.1 in Turkey. So the turkeys here in Turkey got a few little shakes, little reminder of, hey, stay on your toes. We're not over yet. That show is far from over. Anyways, over here we got the 4.9 at a depth of 10 on the ridge. So that's good. It finally makes it over. Oh, real quick. Right here. Come on to me. All right, that's a 5.3 at a depth of 256. That translates at the surface to, a little bit more than 5.5. So mid-5 range energy that came straight across. It did not travel down. That energy came straight across from here. That's the 5.0 to mid-5 energy we were looking for from yesterday's thing. Okay? So, boom, it finished off. Now we're done. Now let's go to this forecast. See how well you guys been praying. Nah, I'm joking. Oh, and all our data's gone. Well, darn it. There was a whole sheet of data here, and now we only have 3 frames. That frame, and that's it. So, no cigarette break. Boom, boom. All right, well, we'll come back to it later. Let's get into the gem, shall we? You guys have been waiting for a while. All right, all you solar report people, weather report people, whatever, the weather thing's jammed up, so we're moving forward. If you don't want to see the spiritual stuff, you can exit or whatever you want to do there. Come on, what's going on with my video? All right, and that ain't it. Oh, we're in the wrong end. Right here. Okay, we're going to start with this first. And if it will please load up. All right. So, our tornado chasers have been extremely busy, right? And, excuse me, I had to take a sip. And these guys are some of the gutsiest guys in the world. Like, I run into battle all the time. These guys are running into battle, and it's not easy to run into a dangerous situation that everybody else in the right mind flees from. Okay? These guys are not in the right mind, and one of the craziest ones is Dr. Reed Timmer. He's a doctor of meteorology, and all the boys in the field respect him as the craziest in the game. All right? Kind of like that movie Twister. You remember Bill, the guy, the hero from Twister, the movie Twister? He was the craziest son of a bitch in the game, right? Well, that's what Reed is. And if you know anything about him, you know he builds these vehicles called the Dominator, okay? And he brought him out of retirement. Just a couple weeks ago, I watched a video on him digging these things out of the garages, firing them up, getting them all roadworthy again to try to intercept tornadoes, right? So he has been trying to attempt this for a long time, and we're going to witness the movie Twister is now a true story. Let's just put it that way, okay? The plot in the movie Twister has now come true, and I hope you enjoy this gem if you haven't seen this yet. Oh, sound, everything has to be just right, so bear with it a second. This is going to be worth it. Anything else playing? No. Okay, now I think we're good on sound. We're good on sound? All right about there. Here we go. Play, please, with sound. Alright. Hang on. There's something else playing. Where is it? There it is. Okay, let's try this one more time. It'll be worth it. Get this to play again. Alright.
I got it. Is that right? Go. There it is. It's a tornado. We're getting it. Yeah, put it up front. Hurry.
History in the making right here. Alright, there's their car on the road. Did you see it? See those trees flying?
We're in it! We're in it! We're in the tornado! Hold on!
Alright. Wait a second. We're gonna have to back up. Alright, let's try this again because this full screen didn't capture it very well. Alright, come on, play it. I want you to see the chase car, how they got lined up. Alright, Please play this. I wanted you to see the scene here where they got the chase car. They circle it, and you can see where he. All right, see where this car is, and it's circled right here. That's him in the Dominator right there with the tornado coming up. Now let's give it with sound. Watch this tree come through the frame. That's a pressure sensor. That was a tree.
We're in it! We're in it! We're in the tornado! Hold on! Hold on!
That was a tree.
What thing? Here's Papa!
It's a perfectly executed intercept.
Play it! Are you... Come on. Are you freaking kidding me? Your ad?
Claritin.
Hell of irritating.
Over 200 allergens without knocking you.
So irritating. You bastards, we lost the moment. So we're going to have to back up because I want you to understand the moment of the exhilaration these guys had. The moment. You fucking put an ad in there again, I swear to God, I'll fry you.
It's a perfectly executed intercept. A dead center recording of data inside the tornado. The first intercept by a woman in a Dominator. And a highly photogenic storm which harmed no one in its
Yes! That's intense. What do you think?
It's awesome.
Hey, look at this, guys! Look at the explosion! I got the shot here with the dog. We just intercepted it. 3, that was probably the best deployment of your life.
The tornado.
Yeah, that was the best deployment of his life. Wouldn't you say so, folks? Here, I just gotta watch it again, uninterrupted, because YouTube interrupts that shit one more time. I swear to God, the moment of glory gets interrupted like that, I will go apoplectic. Now I want you to see here, as he, you can see these trees getting swept off this hill up here. All in one shot, uninterrupted, please, YouTube.
Come down!
And the drone shot of it.
We're in it! We're in it! We're in the tornado! Hold on! Hold on! What thing? Here's Papa!
It's a perfectly executed intercept. A dead center recording of data inside the tornado. The first intercept by a woman in a Dominator. And a highly photogenic storm which harmed no one in its
Yes! That's intense. What do you think?
It's awesome.
Hey, look at this, guys! Look Look at the inclusion! I got the shot here with a dog! We just intercepted it!
Breathe, that was probably the best deployment of your life.
Yeah, the best deployment of anyone's life. And I just want to say congratulations to Dr. Reed. And this is what courage gets you. Courage with patience and persistence and ideas and ingenuity. He helped build that car. That guy is a doctor for a reason, okay? And I'll tell you what, he's got some of my tenacity in him. That's what I love about him. So y'all need to go over to Reed Timmer, subscribe to him, make sure you get every little notification, all of them, okay, and give him a thumbs up, because that man put his life on the line to bring you the most important information and vital data for the scientific community as well. So I applaud Mr. Reed Timmer for his courage and his bravery, his ingenuity, his drive, his persistence, his patience, his tolerance, his acceptance. All of it came together and gelled finally for the man. And now you know what victory tastes like and what it feels like. And when those guys, as soon as that wind ripped away, you heard them scream, yeah, because they survived it. Their equipment worked. They did it the right way. They intercepted it perfectly. They had the drone for the other effect as well. I must say bravo. Well done, Mr. Dr. Reed Timmer. Okay? So, some good news. We have heroes out there putting their balls to the wall and pulling it off, okay? It's the same stuff I have to go through every day, and I recognize bravery and courage when I see it, and I applaud it when I see it. Way to go, Mr. Reed Timmer. Everybody, he's a god now. Well, not a god, but he's definitely number one in this field, and he proved it right there with that. And that now makes the movie Twister a true story, doesn't it? So the movie Twister, this whole time that we were enjoying it as a theoretical movie, has now come true in even a bigger way than they did in the movie. Because in the movie, they just wanted to deploy some little unit. No. Mr. Timmer here, Dr. Timmer here, took it a few steps further and put the car itself in there and himself in that car. I just got to say bravo. I know I've been through this many times, and I know what it takes to achieve success at this level, and I just gotta applaud the man, and I want you all to applaud him too. And go over there, give him a like, give him a hug, give him a kiss, subscribe to him, and all of these guys: Brandon Kopic, Vince Welty, Brad Arnold, all of these guys, Ryan Hall and Andy Hill, that bring it all together. We got a squad. We got some real American heroes out there on YouTube doing it, okay? And they deserve support. So, I appreciate your guys' support, but I appreciate you going over there and supporting them as well, too, because they got lots of fun stuff to teach you. All right? Now there is a second gem, the serious stuff that we have to deal with now. Now, this is not for the faint of heart, and I want most of you guys to go away, all right? This is only for adults only, all right? This isn't even for fucking adults, all right? Because most of the adults I run into are not mature enough for this, okay? So, you either get ready for some disturbing news and sit down and pull up your big boy panties, or you better just exit right now, okay? And I'm not afraid if you leave. It won't hurt my feelings. This is a warning. This is a disclaimer saying the next little bit is about to be very disturbing, okay? And we're using this for educational purposes only. This is not entertainment, okay? Especially when you hear and see what happened. If you haven't already, it's probably, I don't know. But here we go. The news of the day kind of coming late for me, but you all know who Steve Bannon is here, okay? He used to work for Mossad. This is a very smart man, all right? He does a lot of biblical research. You need to go over, subscribe to him, give him a like, give him support for his research that all colludes and it all collaborates my evidence as well, okay? Mine backs up his backs up mine. We all work together to unravel this mystery, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start playing a section of this report, and it's going to be very disturbing. I think you guys are aware. If you're not, then brace for what you're about to see. Okay, again, I'm using this as for educational purposes only. Oh, please, Lord, give him strength. Quick prayer. Lord, I just ask you to give my audience strength to absorb this information.
And if they don't want the war to end, believe me, that war is not going to end. Here is another view of that particular explosion that happened there.
Hang on.
If Russia, they know if they ever are going to take down the United States, all they have to do is take down Great Britain, and that will basically crush our nation as well. Or at least that's the way Putin kind of thinks about that. But Zelensky basically told the Pope, no thank you, we don't need your help in negotiating peace. He makes it looks like Ukraine will do their own negotiation type thing there. But let's face it, Zelensky is a puppet of the West, and when I say the West, that is Great Britain, that is NATO. He truly is a puppet, and if they don't want the war to end, believe me, that war is not going to end. Here is another view of that particular explosion that happened there in Ukraine there in the last 24 hours there, far western part of Ukraine. Almost looks like something out of the Middle East there, but it is Ukraine, and I did do as much verification as I could from other sources as well. And yes, so that's what we got going up there. And there's another one goes up there. And of course, this is supposed to be an enemy. Could at least 20 explodes, not going to end. Here is another view of that particular explosion that happened there in.
Oh, come on, dang it.
Almost looks like something out of the Middle East there, but it is Ukraine, and I did do as much verification, something out of the last explosion that happened there in Ukraine there in the last 24 hours there, far western part of Ukraine. Almost looks like something out of the Middle East there, but it is Ukraine, and I did do as much verification as I could from other sources as well. And
watch the secondary one.
Going up there, and there's another one goes up there, and of course this is supposed to, so that's what we got going up there, and there's another one goes up as well, and yes, so that's what we got going up there, and there's another one goes up there, and of course this is supposed to be an ammunition depot. Missiles for the tanks that are stored.
Okay, now listen.
We're talking about far west of Ukraine. Says that there were some 20 drones sent in, retaliatory strikes there, hitting the ammunition depot, also where these missiles for the tanks that are stored for the Abrams and for the German-made tanks there that are definitely radioactive. So here's that explosion as it goes up there. Said it actually hit the Richter scale there like an earthquake. It was so massive. In its explosion there, you would almost think it was some kind of, little tactical type of nuke, but it wasn't. It was the fact that plant there, or that facility that they hit there was indeed storing massive amounts of weapons from the West there, and Russia just sent it up into smoke there.
Did you just hear that? Listen closely. I'm going to rewind it again.
That facility that they hit there was indeed storing massive amounts of weapons from the West there, and Russia just sent it up into smoke there. Now, Russia, too, taking some pretty heavy losses.
Do you understand what just happened there?
Jet storing plant.
One more
A
time.
little tactical type of nuke, but it wasn't. It was the fact that that plant there, or that, excuse me, that facility that they hit there was indeed storing massive amounts of weapons from the West there, and Russia just sent it up into smoke there.
All the money that we've been sending to has just been vaporized. All the weapons that were ammunition, all that we just spent our hard-earned money on, just went up in smoke. What do you think might happen now? What do you think might happen next? I want you to look real close at this, where's this next little... Boom. I want to slow this down. We're going to go to 0.5 and just start playing it. Okay. Exit sound. Alright, we gotta go back. Here we go. Alright, the moment this thing explodes, watch the city down below here. Look how much area it takes out. You see that shockwave expand through the town there? And then this huge, huge fireball. Playing it slow. I want you to kind of wrap your mind around what you're looking at, okay? This is in Ukraine. This isn't in the Middle East. This was our weapons storage facility in Ukraine. All our tank missiles, all of our stuff that we were going to use against Russia. Not all of it, but a bunch of it. It just got hit by a Russian. And then watch, it wasn't just one strike. All of this hot gas right here that's underneath this acts like gasoline vapor in the air and will cause, if ignited by a secondary explosion, will cause that right there. That's two big, huge explosions. The second one ignited the other gases, the hot gases in the air. Look at that. Isn't that an amazing shot right there? Okay. I would really love to get into detail about the implications of what you're seeing and what might happen. I've been noticing my words have been either manifesting and coming true, so I don't want to put it out there, but my audience should be wise enough to see the writing on the wall. Okay? This kind of writing right here on the wall. That's our big old weapon stash, alright? Something else that's going on. The New World Order just lost a bunch of weaponry that could have killed a bunch of people. So maybe there's a good thing to this. A bunch of tank rounds and stuff that were going to kill these poor Russians and poor Ukrainians that are caught up in this lie. Well, maybe we just spared a bunch of lives right there too, huh? When you know who the good guys and the bad guys really are, maybe this wasn't a bad thing after all. Maybe what you're seeing is back it just a tad bit on this one here. The original blast, watch. Is it just all that city, all that area is all vaporized. Totally gone, flattened, vaporized instantly. And then that huge mushroom, that fireball is as hot as the sun right there. So the heat that's coming down from that is frying everything too. So that was a quite a powerful explosion, so big that it registered on the Richter scale. And that wasn't the only one. Remember, they're going to tell you maybe there was one blast, but you're going to witness the second one come in. This is a purposeful strike. This is a 1-2 punch, and that was one storage facility. Watch, there's one next door that goes up just like this one as well. So that wasn't a singular event. That was a 1-2 punch. And watch the second one ignite these hot gases in here. Now, I don't know if you guys have been paying close attention. You remember what we did to Russia not too long ago, okay? And I don't know how many of you guys pay attention or speak Russian or whatever, or listen to Putin, but it's important to listen to both sides because they give out vital information, right? And our media portrays this stuff, oh, Putin said this and said that. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's a crock of shit what they're telling you right now. Because I know Russia, and I know Russians, and I know Russian. And their translations, they're lying to you straight up. Putin is pissed. We went up to him and poked him. It's like going up to the bear and poking it in the eye with a toothpick. Because a toothpick might, jab it in the eye. It's not going to kill the bear, but it sure is going to piss it off. Then, when the bear comes after you, what are you going to defend yourself with? A toothpick? See, we made a big mistake, and we awakened a sleeping giant. We rattled the bear's cage. Now the bear is striking back. This is your escalation point right here. You guys see it escalating now, all right? That's why I only want my closest people here, not the Solar Report people. Okay, this is the spiritual event. This is the spiritual realm stuff. You guys been reading your Bibles, right? You guys are starting to understand the story, the plot, the whole ball of wax, the whole movie. You guys are real life actors in a movie. All right, the script has already been written. All you guys are playing your parts perfectly. We are headed towards the end of the movie. It tells you in the scriptures the script and how it goes. Now we are reaching a new avenue. We are opening a new envelope, we'll say. As far as I like to go fast, and when we break new speed records, we call it opening a new envelope. A new envelope of speed. When you've broken through the 100 barrier and you're into the 110s, you've opened another envelope. You reach 120, you've opened another envelope. You reach 130, you've opened another envelope. Here we are at this juncture now. Okay? Here we are at this juncture now. All right? Don't need to quote anything out of the Bible. You guys know exactly where it is. You can go hunt it down yourself and read it again just to remind you. But now you are seeing, and this is Israeli news, all right? This is Stephen Ben-Nun reporting on this, Mossad, okay? You know who to take your information from and who not to take it from, and understand, besides the politics and the story and the reasoning behind it, as my spiritual warriors, I need you to see the actual event. so you can discern what's going on and how prophecy is unfolding now. Okay? And this is a 1-2 strike. Again, they hit a weapons depot. That's what they say. This could be, they're lying. A lot of people lie in war. This could be a tactical nuke strike, and they're informing him that it was a weapons depot to cover their ass. Oh, we'll accept the loss. So there's no telling what the possible truth is in this, except for there was a 1-2 punch in Ukraine. Okay? Regardless of what their line is, what you need to see is just with your eyes, okay? Never mind what they're saying. See with your eyes what just happened. Okay? And I'm telling you this. I'm not going to tell you who to believe and what side to take and blah 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 blah, because there is no side in war. Okay? There's only the dead and the alive, I guess. So take what you will out of what just happened here. You can come over here to Israeli News Live. I suggest you do, and listen to his full report. There is a plethora of information in here besides this, okay? You need to come over here and watch this. You need to go over to Reed Timmer and give him some love for his hard work at this record-breaking. This is history setting right here. This truck that he built, I really got to hand it to this guy. The balls that it takes, the bravery to go into combat like this, when you could possibly die. I go in knowing every day that I will die, and I still do it. So when I see people like this putting their lives on the line to bring you vital information, much like I do, I got to applaud their bravery, their courage. This is real bravery. This is real courage, okay? Not this bravado on the chat room. Oh, I'm a this and I'm a that. Yeah, you're a keyboard warrior. This is a fucking real warrior, okay? I know because I'm one and I recognize it. Y'all want to be heroes? Be like this. Go find a passion and go get it. Go tackle it. Get it done. Time's wasting here. Are you going to sit back and just let life, flow past you? Or are you going to jump in the stream and start grabbing fish and jumping off the rocks and bathing in it and thriving? Now is the time to live and to live full. Live fully. Face your fears, overcome them, and succeed. Taste victory. Go out there and taste victory. I'm going to tell you about my son's 17th birthday and his rite of passage. Our battle on the mountain, we went to Kirkwood, California, and went snowboarding. Yay! And doesn't sound like much of a battle, right? Until you understand who we are and how we get approached, we'll say. And we still managed to have a good day. We had a great day, and we fought through some tough little arguments and stuff, but we recovered the rest of the day and were able to salvage it and have a great day of snowboarding. Something else is I have both my hips shattered now. It was only one. Now the second one is blown out now too. And they both hurt equally, so I don't limp and favor one as much. So I just walk more bow-legged, kind of like a cowboy now or whatever, I don't know. But I was still able to fight through the pain and go snowboarding and have a great day. And I can't break any world records anymore, but I can still haul ass. So I'm having a great day with my son. The rite of passage is going on, and I make some some beautiful turns. I got the people on the chairlift. They're applauding us. They dig our style, and everybody's having a blast. And I'm old, and I got 2 blown out hips, and 70 miles an hour takes a lot of strength. 80 miles an hour takes a lot of strength, and it wears you out pretty quick. So I go to take a little break, and I look behind me to make sure there's no skiers, whatever, flying up behind me. But there's some way back there, so I get off to the side of the run, out of the way of the middle of the run, clear off to the side to sit down and take a break and wait for my son. As soon as I sit down, somebody comes up behind me and smacks me in the face with a big old thing of snow and breaks my glasses, knocks them off my head. And as I kind of come to, I look, and it's some skier dude. And I thought, oh, he was probably out of control, and maybe, me stopping threw him off, and he barely missed me, and I got lucky. I just got sprayed. So I forgave him right away, and I watched him ski away. But then I watched, and he's mad dogging it for this next person. And he flies up on this next person and hits it hard on the brakes and sprays this next guy. And I hear him laugh and take off after a third person. It was at that point I said, oh, no, not on my watch, motherfucker. I get on old Asher here, and these skiers are supposedly faster than snowboarders, right? Well, not this one. I get on Asher, I point it straight, and I step on the gas, and I'm closing on this punk, and I'm closing on him fast. He's doing 50, I'm doing 75. I'm coming up on him hard and fast. He sprays a third person, giggles, and starts to ski away from this guy, and all of a sudden he hears this onrush, and he turns around and looks at me. Just in time, I see the look of terror and shock on his face, and he goes to point at me like, you? And that's when I sprayed him so hard, the snow knocked him over when he was going 50 miles an hour. And that punk got served up right to the snow he liked to serve up to other people. I served him up like flapjack and slapped him right down on the face on the other side. And I'll tell you what, that homeboy left that day of skiing with a story to tell his friends. Yeah, man, I was pulling this shit, pulling that shit, and I pulled it on the wrong motherfucker, because he came back at me on a snowboard about 80 miles an hour and hit me with a wave of snow so hard it knocked me off my fucking ass. And that's how I ride. So we had our little rite of passage, and those are the battles that we have on the mountain. Now you see what I'm talking about. But we managed to still have a good day, even though I got hit by another skier, totally scratched up poor old Asher and took a piece of edge out of the bottom of it now. Now I'm missing a segment of edge. But, hey, it can't shatter my hips. They're already shattered, so it hurt. The impact hurt pretty bad, but I still had a great day with my son on the hill. It was the last day of the season. Kirkwood's closing down. They got 70 feet of snow. The lodge is still buried. The facility is still up their ass in snow, but they got to close because it's the end of the season, and so much snow is melting out there. So much runoff in the meadows just below Kirkwood Valley. There are hundreds of little streamlets that have all branched off now. There are entire plains in the meadows, like rolling foothill type plains that are entire waterfalls. So imagine like a segment of rolling hill, like a little foothill rolling away from the mountains, as wide as a football field, all with water flowing down a meadow type structure stream, just a football field wide, one after another, after another, after another. The entire meadow is just all these football field wide, huge, like trickling waterfalls over the meadows, over the rocks, over everything. And there are still tons of snow up there to go. The upper valley that distributes water to the lower valleys here where I live. The upper valley will flood here soon at a magnitude that when it comes downstream and hits the lower valley that has other tributaries feeding it, I expect our lower valley to flood here this summer, just by the sheer mass that is still up there and the congested flow of the rivers already. So I know my area is going to see some flood devastation here this summer. I can tell just by looking. I don't need experts or anything. I'm kind of like Reed. I'm an expert because I have experience. See, that's the root word of expert is experience. I don't want one of these so-called experts with their friggin' PhD piece of paper on their wall. I wipe my ass with their PhD. When they have no experience at all, what good is that paper? You paid for that at college. You got your diploma from a Cracker Jack box because you have no experience whatsoever. That's what makes a person a doctor, is have they experienced this stuff. Or that's what makes them an expert. You don't just go and study this subject and proclaim to know it all if you're not out in the field performing it yourself. You're a frickin' pussy is what you are. If you're not out there with the balls to do this, you're a frickin' pussy. You just stay on the couch and be a keyboard warrior. Otherwise, get in the saddle, get on your horse, and get out there and come gallop with us. Because we have victory. We taste victory, and it tastes sweet. And I want you guys to have a little taste of that too. So, nothing but the best for my audience. All right? So, a little something to bring you hope, to bring you motivation. Okay, I want you guys to fire under your ass now. I want some motivation out of you people now. Here's a guy who's fired up and motivate you. Let him, be an example. We got serious issues going on right now. Okay, your prayers matter so much right now. I don't care. Listen. I am done with the these, the thous, and blah, 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 blah. I want sincere prayers in English and Spanish, or whatever language you prefer, but stop with all the technicalities. I want sincerity, and I want direct messages. Quit praying for material shit. I am not going to give you material shit. Money, planes, houses, all that crap. You are not going to get it. If you don't start praying for spiritual stuff, you are not going to get anything. The more spiritual stuff you pray for, the more you will see how blessed you are and the easier it is to answer. Now we can fix this problem, and we are going to fix it. You got me? I never try anything. I fucking do it. And we will fix this problem with your help. You and me teaming up, we are unstoppable. So, you don't have to draw a gun. You don't have to be superhero, whatever. You need to pray sincerely about important topics, not stupid shit. Okay? Hopefully you can tell by my language the point of apoplexy that I am at. Now, I am not apoplectic with my audience. My audience are nothing but gems. Every single one of you, the 21 that are here right now, I see 21 watching and 21 likes. Those are the 21 people I'm talking to right now, and some of the people that are watching this later on when you get up or whenever you get time from your battle to join me in this little battle. Okay, you all are warriors. Your days are bombarded. I know it. You are bombarded with shit you can't explain. People behaving ways you're like, that was never like that person before. Where did this shit come from? Okay. You hear me loud and clear. I'm talking to you, huh? You're all relating, going, yep, that's me. Yep, My own family. How could they not see it? How could they just betray me? How could they be so blind? Why won't they give me 5 minutes of their time to just sit down and hear me and explain? Because now it's reaching critical mass and it's hitting the headlines, or being hidden from the headlines, but it's actually happening. You know, what do I do? What do I do? You sit tight. You guys are in good hands. You just keep praying along with me on the central core issue, and we will have victory. We will taste victory like a motherfucker, okay? All right? And when you hear, where's the scream? Right here. I want to hear 21 of you scream like...
It's a perfectly executed intercept. It's a perfectly executed...
That, right there. That. I want you all to have that. I want you all to scream with passion. Yeah! Yeah! Because you already have victory, baby. You're hearing your victory right now talking to you. Okay? There is no doubt at all. There is no doubt. You guys listening to me are going to experience this feeling real soon.
It's a perfectly executed intercept. It's a perfectly executed intercept.
You guys and me together are a perfectly executed intercept, and you will be screaming like this. Joy, dude. You're just going to be so overjoyed when you and me are kicking it together inside a tornado, going, yeah! All right? Because I'm a crazy bastard like this, and you guys are riding shotgun with me. Okay? Prepare to be excited. Okay? Don't let this stuff get you down. You have control of this. Not these clowns. Not this guy either. I'm telling you who has control of this right now, and that's you and me working together. All right? So, we're going to leave it right here with this last intercept right here as our closing thing. And I was going to read something, but my reading does not touch this beautiful moment right here. So come join me in a little taste of victory, baby. Oh, and my NASCAR driver won today too, in classic form. Last year he got cheated out of it, and this year he earned it and won in classic form. You can go watch the NASCAR race yourself, but every once in a while when your driver wins, it's very rewarding. Especially when they've been cheated out of victory so many times. When you've been cheated out of victory so many times and you finally taste it once, it tastes so sweet.
With the tornado headed directly for it.
You gotta be into the highway.
And now, with the intercept road just ahead, the moment is here.
Clear right? Go. There it is. Tornado. We're getting it. Yeah, put it up front. Hurry.
Knowing that you're about to die and you're going to do it anyway. It's not suicidal, it's kamikaze. You're on a mission. You're going to die anyways, you might as well die doing something you love. was a tree.
Here's Papa.
It's a perfectly executed intercept.
We're gonna taste
Dead
victory,
center
baby.
Recording of data inside the tornado. The first intercept by a woman in a dominator.
And by the way, you ladies in my audience are coming along too. First lady.
And a highly photogenic storm which harmed no one in its
Yes!
No one got harmed.
What do you think?
It's awesome.
Yes, he is.
Hey, look at this, guys! Look at the inclusion! I got the shot here with the dog! We just intercepted it!
Breathe, that was probably the best deployment of your life.
The tornado begins to die out, and Team Dominator science lead Mark Simpson begins analyzing the data. First finding. As the tornado passed over the Dominator 3, the number of satellites being accessed by the GPS dropped. The GPS signal is killed by a few centimeters of water. However, water in the atmosphere is pretty sparse. Therefore, it's highly likely that this was debris in the vortex obstructing the signal. Next, the subsonic sensor recorded a gradual, then massive pressure drop, with a quick recovery over 3/4 of a second, meaning there are massive forces at play. Pressure differences in tornadoes can affect sinuses, ears, and possibly even the brain. And Team Dominator quickly published the data to foster collaboration and research to accelerate learning for the greater good. As tens of thousands watched the intercept on the channel's live stream, the community quickly jumped in. If you appreciate the sharing of this hard-won work and don't want to miss a moment of the action on the next live stream, you should watch and research to accelerate learning for the greater good.
All right, to accelerate learning for the greater good. All right, that's how you can be a spiritual warrior. Go out there and go get her done. You search deep inside yourself, ask yourself what it is that your passion is, and then you go do it for the Lord, for the greater good, for educational purposes. Make everybody aware that the Lord is here and that miracles are real. Okay? And I give you this guy's courage to go get him. Okay? You're unstoppable, so go get him. All right, you guys? That's it for tonight. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next live stream, I'll be back. I am back.